Hi, I'm Scott, and this is my cameraman Fletch, and this is our review of the 2022 Mini Countryman SE plug-in hybrid. I wanted to use this opportunity to talk about a few features that were unclear to me when I was shopping for a Mini, and also talk about what it's like to go from a hardtop Mini Cooper S to the much bigger, much more electric Countryman SE. One of my biggest questions was the color. The sage green color on the website looked very green, and I only saw it once on the lot, and I remembered it being a much lighter green. So this is how sage green looks. This is inside the garage. I'll show it in the sun in just a minute, but it's a really nice color. It's kind of looks blue sometimes, kind of looks silver sometimes, kind of looks green most of the time. It kind of has a shimmer to it, and it looks really nice, I think, with the white bonnet stripes and roof. Most of the examples online show it with black. I think it looks a lot better with white. Here's sage green in the sunlight. I think it looks a little bit bluer than it tends to look on the website. But again, it's really nice, pretty shiny, picks up the light real well. Should we go for a drive, Fletch? I think that's a yes. So one question I had is if the SE is worth it over the Mini Cooper Countryman S All-4. So it's about $7,000 more for the SE, but if you compare the iconic trim, it's only about $3,000 more. And there are also potential tax savings to getting a plug-in hybrid. So it's not that much more money. The question becomes, is the electric mode really worth it? So in electric mode, in all electric, you get about 17 miles before you have to charge, which is not very much. But for me, where most of my driving is to drop off my kids at school or go grocery shopping, that's plenty. So I can go on an errand and be in all electric the whole time. So one of the things I was curious about is, does it still drive like a Mini, even though it's much bigger than my hardtop Cooper S? So it does feel a lot bigger. It feels like the road is like a lot further from me, and when I look out the rearview mirror, at first it seemed like everything was far away. Now it actually feels pretty natural. One thing I noticed is that it's a lot more smooth than my 2011 Cooper S. I don't know if that's because it's new or because of the tires are better, but you don't get as much of the hard bumpiness that that I experienced in the hardtop. In terms of handling, like, it still handles pretty much like a Mini. You can take corners really tight. It feels kind of like a go-kart. I'll turn here in a second, Fletch, so we can experience what a turn is like. So here, I'll take this turn at like, I don't know, 35 miles an hour, and it's no problem. The other question is, how does it pick up? So I will slow down here. So I'm gonna put it in sport mode. Oops. There. Everything turned red, and now it's using e-boost. I'm going to stop here at 62 in the 35 mile an hour zone. So it's using both the electric engine and the gas engine together to accelerate as quickly as possible. So it's just as much fun, if not more fun, than my old Mini. I want to talk about a few of the different driving modes that you have in the Countryman SE. So over here, where you used to have in the older Minis the window toggles, now this is where you change the driving modes. There's basically two things you want to look at here. First is eDrive. So when I toggle that, you'll see on the dash, I can choose Max eDrive or Auto eDrive. In Max eDrive, the car will attempt to use the battery as much as possible, and will only use the gas engine if it has to for some reason. And then over here, the different driving modes between sport mode, mid mode, and green mode. So obviously if you want to save energy, use green, and mid is balanced, and sport will be more aggressive. So right now I'm in max E drive with green, although I don't think it really matters when you're in max E drive. But now I'm driving with just the electric engine, and it's of course very quiet. I can see on the dash these green bars, which I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I think it means if the needle exceeds that last green bar, then the gas engine would kick in. But it would be very unlikely that it would, because that would mean I'm accelerating super fast. So that's max E drive. If I change it to auto E drive, and maybe put it in sport mode, you can see the displays update, so they are more red, and I think you can customize that. But now it's showing fewer of these green bars, which means that the gas engine just kicked in, and it drives a little more sportier. And if I were to really gun it, it would use both the electric engine and the gas engine. If you're deciding between the different trim levels, the iconic level gives you a bunch of things. One is some paint colors that don't exist for the signature trim level. Those are, I think, enigmatic black, which is actually kind of a blue, and I think a silver color. The color I have, the sage green, is available in both trims. The iconic level also gives you leather seats. I chose the cross punch black, which looks like this. One thing I didn't know is that there's this like suede part of it on the sides, which is kind of nice. The nicest leather I thought was the Chesterfield, I think it's a beige, but I thought it would get dirty easily, so I went with black instead. So the convenience package says it adds storage, access, and security features. On the Iconic trim, it doesn't add security features because Iconic already comes with an alarm. So really all you get with the convenience package is the rear center armrest with cup holders, and you also get this strange bench thing that you can unsnap and I guess use for picnics. But that's it. The convenience package is $800 if you have the signature trim, and it's only $500 if you have Iconic because you already have the alarm. But it seems like a lot for what's basically an armrest. This car has a ton of features. I wanted to show it here in the garage so you can kind of see one of them, which is the lighted up, I don't even know what this feature is called, but you can get, you can see it's purple. You can change the colors of all the lights inside up here. So the Iconic trim has built-in wireless Apple CarPlay, so you can play media from your phone or access maps, or any other app that that supports CarPlay. And there's a ton of settings. You can customize all sorts of stuff. So, for example, so here are all the settings you can customize. You can change the way that Max eDrive works, whether or not the vehicle starts with that active. change aspects of the lighting. You can change how the doors are locked and unlocked, customize safety features, including the lane departure warning. The car can give you a speed warning if you're exceeding the speed limit. By the way, on the heads-up display, it will project the current speed limit and your speed. You can also adjust the heads-up display, so you can change the height of it. You can change how automatic parking works, the climate, vehicle tracking if you have that, and then all sorts of other stuff that seems to be randomly thrown into system settings. You can, of course, sync your phone, and there is a wireless charger built into the phone holder. You can change all sorts of stuff about your displays. So again, the heads-up display, you can change how high it projects. You can even rotate it for some reason. You can change how the controls show up, instrument panel, center instrument, and the color scheme, which is currently set to change based on the driving mode. Some other things that are interesting, you can get, let's see, where is it? You can plan your charging. So if you tell the car when you'll be leaving, it will, I guess, charge more optimally for that. If you leave the car overnight, plugged into the charger. You can also have it, I guess, adjust the climate before you depart, which is pretty cool. I have no idea what Mini Country Timer is. It looks like maybe it's some sort of game, but I don't know how to play the game. Here's Mini Country Timer info. I don't know what that is. That's something to look into later. You can have different profiles for different drivers, so it will adjust the seat and other driving preferences based on who's driving. That's tied to the key, or you can choose which driver you are when the car starts. You can also tell the car whether or not to ask you which driver you are when the car starts. Here's the Mini logo that gets projected when you exit the car. And then this is the piano black exterior that's included as part of the iconic trim. I don't think it's an option. You can't turn it, you can't not get it. But basically the Mini logo, instead of being chrome, is black. I actually kind of prefer the chrome. Iconic also adds some of the silver styling here in the front. So charging is super easy. Fletch is going to show you. You push on, no, not like that. You push on the charger just like it's a gas tank. Pushed on this part. That opens it. And then you charge it, and it will show you the status of the charge. This is just plugged into a normal wall outlet in my garage. One thing that's really cool is that the car will tell you, if you have the Mini Connected app, it'll send you a push notification when it's fully charged, so you know your car is ready to go. Also learned that if the car is locked, it won't let you take the charger out. You have to unlock the car to remove the charger.